Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the May 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Aries. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I will provide you any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me really greatly, and you'll be notified when I post videos in the future. Also, I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on. Well, let's go ahead and get started here. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close. So last few weeks or month for you. In column number 2, we're going to take a look at what's going on, just a general look in May. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a healing note, and a healing crystal for you for the month. Well, let's see here. Let's pull a summary card again for what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We have the card Unity. I like when I see the card Unity. Unity is going to give you that feeling of oneness, that feeling of wholeness. So all around a good card. We like Unity. Well, let's see what messages we have here, Aries. The first card we have is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is new project or inspiration to create. So likely, Aries, you've been feeling really, really creative these last few weeks. The next card we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a card of gossip. It can be a card of drama. It can also be a card of finding out truth on something. Typically, when I see this card, I tell people to stay away from the gossip or stay away from the drama. In this case, it may have already happened. So again, this could be a card of that water cooler talk, that gossip, that drama, where you could have found out some truth in the last few weeks. The next card we have is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very free-spirited. It's like a card of being set free. Maybe you found out some truth that set you free and enabled you to have this new beginning. But creativity, double creativity with these 2 ace cards coming through there. Let's clarify and see what other messages we have here. Oops, making a mess here. So I don't do things with my opposite hand. Okay, the first card that we have is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a card of friendship, a card of celebration, a card of circle of support as well. You see these 3 people are standing in a circle. So it does indicate that circle of support. I feel like as you go into this new project or into this new inspiration or into this new urge to create, keep in mind, Aries, that you're well supported by those around you. The next card we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of bully, theft, violence, the Five of Wands is a card of challenges and obstacles. I was thinking this Five of Swords there for a second. Five of Wands, though, is a card of rivalry, challenges, obstacles. I always describe this as small bumps in the road. So this is things that you didn't quite go as planned. It does indicate some sort of conflict. Usually it's minor conflict, but this could again be that gossip, that drama, or that truth coming out causing some minor conflicts along the way. Then at the bottom here we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of withdrawing, retreating, moving on. I do feel like you're moving into this very free and very creative state with that Knight of Wands, which is a good thing. You're kind of like leaving what you know and branching out to something newer, better. It's going to feel more fulfilling for you, Aries. It also enable you to be more creative there. Let's take a look at our next column now, which is General May. So what we've got going on for May. We have the card Ready But Waiting. There could be something you like want to pull the trigger on, Aries, and now may or may not be the time. Maybe this is something you've already been waiting for. Let's see what messages we've got here. Look at that, all major arcana cards. So big messages coming for you this month. The first card we have is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of good fortune. It's a card of turning point. It's a card of luck. If you've listened to my readings before, you know the Wheel of Fortune is one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. But I feel like we are at this turning point. So this is what you've been waiting for. You're finally here. There's always positive turning point too with the Wheel of Fortune, which I love. The next card that we have is the Star card. The Star card is a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. You're gonna be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel now that we've gotten to the turning point. You've turned around the bend and there's the light at the end of the tunnel. Has to be such a good feeling. Can't wait to see what happens for you this month, Aries. But again, so much renewal of energy, renewal of hope, so much clarity. It's almost gonna feel like a miracle. The Star card is a card of a feeling of miracle. The next card is the Strength card. The Strength card is a good card to have anywhere in the reading. It's a card of self-love, unconditional love, self-respect. And with the lion on there, it's really a card of courage. So as you go into this month, you go into this new chapter, you go around the bend, you turn that corner, make sure that you are staying courageous, Aries. But let's see what we got going on. Let's clarify this column. The first clarifying card we have is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens. If you look at this person, they're leaned over into this bundle of wands and they're crying. So I like to see that we're at a turning point here because nobody wants to be this Ten of Wands feelings. We don't like that overwhelmed, stress, exhausted feeling. So you get to put down some of these wands and you get to move forward. Again, we're at that turning point. You've been hanging on for a while, it seems like, Aries. The next card we have is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a very generous card. It's a card of giving or receiving help. And it is on top of the Star card. So I don't know. I feel like there could be somebody that is hyping you up almost as well as the energy I'm getting with the Star card. They're going to help you renewing your energy, renewing that hope, giving you clarity. They're going to be encouraging you and telling you how bright the light is at the end of the tunnel. Then at the bottom here we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a card of being very self-sufficient, being very honest. Of course, I feel like this has been very self-driven for you. It does seem like you have a good support system and there will be somebody hyping you up with that Six of Pentacles. But to get to this point, I feel like it's been very you. It's been you driving you. But be very honest too as you move forward. Honest is really good. Communication is also key. So as you go into this, as you turn the corner, as you start to see this light and you go towards this light, make sure you're being honest about what you want. Be communicating. Maybe even be communicating that courage that you have too. But again, communication seems to be what's tying in with that Queen of Swords there. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, anything money. The first card that we have is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is very much so a card of expectations. And when I see this card, sometimes it's things not meeting your expectations, or it's the opposite where things are exceeding your expectations. Let's take a look and see where this expectations card takes us. Of course, we're going to pull a clarifying card for it. But a lot of times when I see the Hierophant too, it's like a reminder that not to do things just because you've always done them that way. You need to shake up the routine. You need to shake up the way you're making money, the way you're managing your money. Something needs to happen a little bit differently typically when I see the Hierophant card. The next card that we have is the Hermit. The Hermit card is a card about going within for clarity and figuring out what you want. You see that light there? That's a light that's within each of you. And the Hermit is again, checking in with yourself. Are you happy? Is this what you want? Really going within for clarity. But it's about being on that personal quest, that spiritual illumination, about being on your path. So I would again check in because the Hierophant is telling you sometimes things need to be shaken up, and the Hermit saying, is this what you really want? So I would take a good look at your money, job, career, finances, investments, and make sure they're aligned with what you want, Aries. Then at the bottom we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is a great money card. Love to see it anytime in the money column. It's very patient, but it often indicates new job, raise, or some sort of money news. All good things. So it could be a new job on the horizon for you. It could be a raise or some sort of other really positive money news. But let's clarify this column and see what messages we have. The first one we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very supportive, very tolerant, very empathetic. And again, the Hierophant is like saying you need to shake things up. So I feel like if you try and do something differently, nobody's going to be like, why are you doing this differently? Like, it's almost like if you want to quit your job to find something better, people are going to be like, okay, that makes sense. This just seems to be the people around you at this point supporting you and encouraging you, which is a really good thing to have. The Hierophant, again, as it comes to meeting expectations, given that this is a king card, I would say that things will be exceeding your expectations as it relates to money, which is always good as well. Like to see that. The next clarifying card we have is the Hangman. The Hangman is a very stagnant card. Oftentimes it's a card of waiting. You look at this card and this person's quite literally hanging there by their foot. You usually need some other piece of information to move forward. And interestingly enough, it's some piece of information you already have. Again, the Hermit's checking in with yourself. It's making sure you're getting what you want, making sure you're aligned, that you're happy. So whatever this is that you need to move forward, you need to be asking yourself, what do I need to move forward? Because it's already some piece of knowledge or some sort of understanding that you already possess, Aries. Then at the bottom here, we have the Tower card. I've seen a lot of Tower cards, I feel like, this month. We just gotta roll with it sometimes. I don't know, maybe it's planetary alignment there. The Tower card I know looks really gloomy, and at the end of the day, oftentimes when I see the Tower card, it just means something didn't work out quite the way you planned. It's like you wanted ABC to happen and DEF happened. So possibly how you get to this Page of Pentacles, which is again that job, money, raise. It's just not how you thought you were going to get there. Maybe you thought they were going to give you the raise and you have to ask for the raise. Or maybe you thought you were going to get the raise in April and it came in May. So it is still going to take you to somewhere good. It's just not how you thought you were going to get there, seems to be the message, Aries. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. So think family, friends, relationships, children, anything that we associate with love. Well, you're going to start with a really strong love card there. Okay. The first card that we have is the Ace of Cups. Anytime we have an Ace card, it is a card of newness. In terms of the Ace of Cups, this is typically new baby, new relationship, new proposal, new marriage. So if you're hoping to get pregnant, this is a great indicator. If you're wanting to grow your family, it's a great indicator. If you're single and seeking a relationship, this is a great card for you. If you're in a relationship and you'd like to get engaged or get married, this is a really wonderful card for you. So this is like whatever you want as it relates to love. This card's saying that you can have it. It's coming to you in May. The next card that we have is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a very low and gloomy card. If you look at this card, the sky is dark, the person is laying flat, and there's swords stuck into the bottom of them, or stuck into them. So again, this is a card of feeling very low. We're going to clarify this and see why feelings are low. Maybe this is just in general, love vibes haven't been the best for you. You could be really tired, you could be really burnt out, but some of you kind of like are giving off that feeling of being at rock bottom. That's the meaning of the Ten of Swords card. But let's clarify and see. The next card that we have is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is a card of having to make a decision. So I do feel like there has to be some sort of decision made as it relates to love. Maybe you're unhappy being single and you need to make the decision to start pursuing people. Maybe there's a relationship that you're unhappy with that you need to make the decision on. Maybe you're in a relationship you're not happy and you do need to make the decision so you can enter into this new relationship. But let's see what we've got here. The first card that we have at the top is the Moon card. The Moon card is a card of trusting your intuition, And sometimes it's like, again, a card saying things may not have played out the way you thought they would. So maybe you were like, I am going to meet this person at the baseball game, and you met them at the grocery store one day. I know that's a silly example. Or like you were adamant you were going to find somebody on a dating app and your friend ended up connecting you with this person. Or maybe you were like losing hope that you were going to get engaged or married, and now it is going to happen. So it's just not the way you saw things happening. But again, the Ace of Cups is kind of whatever you want as it relates to love, which is a great thing. The next card that we have is the Death card. The Death card doesn't actually mean death, but it does indicate changes, endings, time to move on, transformation. So it does feel like there's something love related. It could be a current relationship, or it could just be feelings that you're still processing through that you do need to work through and move on from. You need to transform, you need to move forward. So definitely there will be a love transformation this month, but I couldn't really ask for a better card on top of the Ten of Swords, because if you're feeling like the Ten of Swords, something's got to change so we're not feeling like the Ten of Swords anymore. So that's a given. Whatever this transformation is, we need to get away from the Ten of Swords type feeling. The next card that we have is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is very intentional, very strategic. When I see the King of Swords, it's long-term. It's like long-term planning, long-term moves. So whatever this decision is related to the Two of Swords, you're doing it because it's what you need to do long-term. Do take this as validation as well, that as you make whatever this love-related decision is in the month of May, Aries, that it was the right thing to do. Now let's move into our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide. So something to take into the month of May with you. You have the card Fragments. When I see fragments, it usually means you're getting bits and pieces of information and you may not have the full picture or all the information that you need. I already told you, I think earlier, that I just keep getting the Tower card, so we're going to keep getting the Tower card. Things are working out for everyone. They're just not working out quite the way they planned. Maybe that's the fragments too. Maybe you got half of what you wanted and you're still waiting for the second half, or you took a step in the right direction towards something, but you expected to take 2 or 3 steps forward. So again, things are coming, but with the Tower card, they're just not coming exactly the way you had planned. The next card that we have is the Moon card. We had the Moon card earlier too, and again, we were talking about the Moon is oftentimes unforeseen things. So again, things not happening quite the way you had hoped for. The Moon card though is important to trust your intuition. So like I said, maybe you took 1 step forward and you have to like trust yourself and trust your intuition that those next few steps are still going to come for you. We'll of course clarify this column too. Then at the bottom here we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very supportive, very tolerant, very empathetic. This is you, Aries, and it needs to be you. So as things don't happen exactly the way you want, you need to continue to support yourself and push forward. You need to be tolerant. You need to be empathetic, because we know, unfortunately, that it's not going to be this perfect path that we were hoping it was going to be. Is it going to happen? Yes, it's just not going to happen exactly the way we had hoped for. Let's take a look here. Our first clarifying card is the Emperor card. The Emperor card is a card of respect, leadership, strategic. When I see the Emperor card, it is that very long-term card, similar to what you're talking about with the King of Swords. So again, this is still the right thing long-term. So even though you only got to take 2 steps forward and not 4 steps forward, just know long-term it's going to get you to where you want to go. The next card that we have is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords can be a card of theft, betrayal, dishonesty. The Moon card being trusting your intuition. So as you go through any interactions this month that could be feeling like betrayal or feeling dishonest, do make sure you're trusting your intuition to be kind of navigating any Seven of Sword type situations that we come across. Then at the bottom here we have the Seven of Wands, so back-to-back sevens there. The Seven of Wands is a card of feeling like it's self-defense, having to protect yourself. It's on top of that King of Cups, which is again is very tolerant and very empathetic. So again, even though things aren't happening exactly the way you want to, or maybe people are questioning you, or you're even questioning yourself, you do have to have some level of tolerance. You have to have that resilience and that ability to bounce back and keep pushing forward. Again, this is saying long term, it is coming and you're on the right path. Now at this point in time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, you have the Ace of Hearts. This is the number 11 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 2 is the 5 of Spades. This is the number 6 card. That's going to be a no. And for question number 3, we have the 9 of Clubs. This is the number 26 card, and that's going to be a yes. So no, no, yes for you, Aries. Let's take a look here. We're going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you throughout the month of May. Keep it in your pocket, put it on your nightstand. Just keep it with you. Your crystal this month is emerald. It helps with harmony, beauty. It opens you up for yourself or for a partner. It's very revitalizing, and it gives you a sense of togetherness. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Let's see what your healing message is. Healing is not an overnight process. It's a daily cleansing of pain, a daily healing of your life. Thank you so much, Aries, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Also, when you subscribe, again, that helps me very greatly, and you'll be notified when I post any videos in the future. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you again, and have a wonderful May, Aries.